hello. I am Miss Pez, and as always, thank you for listening. Now, I did a video previously, and it was um, about discovering the new woman, right? The new supply. And when you discover that there is somebody else, the betrayal behind that would have you questioning your worth, have you questioning if it is your fault that this man decided to cheat on you and have somebody behind your back. Um, you start replaying series of events between you and him, trying to see where you messed up at. Let me let you know, if you were somebody who had boundaries, if you were somebody who was not tolerating his BS, and he decided to punish you with the silent treatment, and now he wants you to see that there is somebody else, you did exactly what you needed to do. You did what you needed to do. When I watch The New Supply, aka the other woman, she was doing what I was not going to do. And go listen to the other video. She was stroking that man's ego. I'm talking, if he was sitting back watching, he felt like a king. She was just really making this man feel like everything. And now, I'm not saying that that is a problem. When you are discerning and when you are highly sensitive spiritually, you can see behind the bullcrap. And I'm watching her as a woman, and I'm thinking to myself, that's why he didn't choose me. I'm not doing that. You can tell when someone is being authentic and someone is performing. Someone is in the midst of being love bombed. That you know, okay, this is not real. This is not. When it's done in a way, it's like, okay. You can tell when a woman, in most cases, right? Not saying that I'm right, but it's just what I felt. It's like, okay, it's been a while. Maybe she hadn't been chosen. Maybe she feel like she won. And sometimes the man would groom the woman. He would make her feel like a winner. He would talk about his ex. He would make, himself look like the victim. And he would use keywords and say things to her so that she can feel like she's better, right? And that's what her post appeared to be like when I was watching her. And I'm like, it's not a coincidence. She's saying things in a subliminal way that makes me go back and think about time where I was not gonna do that. It's like, okay, he told me to take off my red lipstick, and she posted, I took off all of my makeup for my man. I took off all of my makeup for my man. It was so weird, and I'm like, okay. Because I actually told him, the next time you feel that you don't like my makeup, you don't like my nails, because he was really criticizing me. And I told him, just shut up. Don't say nothing at all, right? Because I was so irritated. And it's like, that's just an example of what her post was starting to look like. Basically saying, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it because I'm better. You lost and I won. This is how you're supposed to do it. Not knowing that it's deeper than that. I'm not getting ready to let this man control me. And you will have men that are so insecure that in order to feel like a man, in order to feel like they have power or some kind of control, which is emotional immaturity, they would do things like that. They would start picking on you, picking on parts of you, making you feel like the very essence of who you are is not enough. And I saw that he was doing that to her. I'm looking at it in a different way. Like, you like makeup. Because you can look at all her posts. she wear makeup. She's a beautiful woman. And one thing about me, I don't get mad at the other woman. I don't, cause what I'm looking at is she's in my situation right now pretty soon. Okay, cause it's about a person's character. And if he did me like that, he's gonna do her like that. But I had a moment where I started to question, was it my fault? And I had to remind myself, no, it wasn't. Because having boundaries, what people don't talk about, having boundaries will push people away. It exposes manipulators, it exposes narcissists, it exposes toxic people, and it makes them angry and retaliate. So if you are in a relationship with one of those kind of people, your boundaries will cause them to do things to make you angry, to piss you off, to punish you. So having boundaries would push away fun, will push away family members. When people can't gain control or power over you, they will start doing things to make you feel bad for having boundaries. The purpose of them doing that is for you to push your guard down and take away your boundaries. Question yourself. That's gaslighting. You know, you said what you said. You didn't like what you didn't like, and that is your right. But you are get some people who are manipulators, who are gaslighters, who are narcissists, who are toxic, that will punish you for having those boundaries. So you're not crazy. You wasn't too hard. You were protecting yourself the best way you knew how. And when a person is coming with pure intention, good energy, good vibe, you should have felt safe. You should have felt, like you were in a space where you could be vulnerable. But he didn't bring that. He did things to make you put up your guard. That was his energy. That was his behavior. So you're not crazy. You didn't have too many boundaries, because if he was safe, you would have been safe. If you would have felt safe, it's something about a man who comes in his masculine energy, and he's safe. Naturally, a woman becomes naturally submissive, not in a way where you be in control, no, in a way where you feel protected, you feel safe, you want to love on him, you want to please him, you want to be soft around. It's like he can cause you to tap into your feminine energy, into a softening that will have that little girl coming to the surface. But his energy didn't bring that. His energy pushed you in survival mode. And that is why you responded the way you did. So don't be looking at her page, comparing. Don't be looking at her page thinking, oh, I could have did better. No, you did exactly what you needed to do. And I was watching her, allowing him to do it to her. And I said, oh, it was a couple of times. I'm like, oh, I see why he chose her. I'm not doing that. I would take a heartbreak. But number one, please, I'll take detachment and the pain that comes with it before I sit back and let a man groom me and have to stroke a man's ego. See, you can tell when a woman is doing it because she's performing and she's trying to show him I am the better woman, because they may have had a long conversation about me and he may have made me look like the villain in his story, and now she's performing and now she's showing him, baby, look, I am going to promote you. I'm going to let everybody know. I'm going to let you see that I am the better choice. I am the prize. That is why you don't want to be on their page, because you're going to see a lot of mess. It's nothing authentic. It's nothing real. Because one thing you have to understand is all about a man's character. If he didn't want me, if he didn't have any interest in me, if he had integrity, if he was walking, with good character, he would have did it the right way. But he didn't. So don't expect him to treat somebody else better because it's who he is. It has nothing to do with who you are. And you have to see it like that. You were just protecting yourself. No, you wasn't complaining. No, you wasn't always mad. No, he was putting you through a lot. He was doing that on purpose because somebody else was in the picture. It wasn't that you were complaining too much. He was giving you a reason to have to be in survival mode too much. He was giving you too many reasons to have to utilize your voice. He was giving you too many reasons to put up your guard and your boundaries. Think of it like that. Because we'll sit back and we'll watch, the woman and the man, the new woman, the new supply, and the man, and they all in love, and they seem like the happiest couple in the world. And you're like, why that couldn't be me? He didn't want it to be you. He didn't choose to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, to have that moment with you. He chose to do it with her, and that is not your fault. That is not your fault, because a man with integrity and character would have did it the right way and would have just broke it off and been honest. But he chose to keep you around and only get so much, give you breadcrumbs so he can still remain attached to you. I could have still been with him. And he would have been with her. If I would have allowed it, the moment he discovered that I knew about her, if I would have continued to mess with him, he would have kept messing with me while he was with her. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to do that. I couldn't do it because that's not me. And sometimes we will get so hurt and we will feel like we need to get in competition, and we will remain in that situation just to prove a point, just to get that validation, that reassurance, just to say, you know what? He don't love her because he with me. That's why a lot of women stick around, because it hurts so bad when a man do that to you and he betray you and he cheat on you and he deceive you behind your back. It takes away from you. It attacks the very essence of who you are. And that's why women would do things that don't make sense to other people, because it hurts so bad. Remaining attached to him makes you feel like you are getting some kind of closure. You are getting some validation, like you're winning in some way. And this is why, when you find yourself in that situation, walk away and just heal. Thank you for listening. God bless.